Welcome back to another video. Today I'm just about to get ready for a little solo date adventure. I haven't done a solo date in a while. I definitely haven't done one since we moved here to Calgary, and it was one of my favorite things to do, especially when I had time to just like plan an outing for myself. So today is one of those days and I finally have time to just check out a couple spots that I've been meaning to go to. It's still nice and sunny here. I don't know exactly when you're gonna see this video, but it is currently the beginning of September. Since the weather's nice, I am gonna take my scooter out, which I just got this year, and it's been so much fun to ride it. I hope I can get as much time to ride it as possible, but it's an easy way to get around the city. So what are we doing today while I get ready? I have this ramen spot that I just heard about last week that I've been meaning to try. I mean, I just heard about it last week, but then I haven't had ramen since like, I don't know, at least a couple months now. So that's actually insane. Ramen is probably one of my top meals. Ramen and pho, any soup noodle dish. And even though it is still sunny outside, I feel like it's a nice temperature. It's not super duper hot today compared to like last week. It was in the 30s, but today I think it's like just about mid 20s. So it'll be nice to have a nice warm bowl of ramen. There's also a bookstore that one of you guys had recommended to me when I did a little bookstore vlog, book shopping vlog that I did a while ago. It looks pretty cool. I've actually passed it before but never had the chance to go because it's always been closed. And yes, I am doing makeup to go out by myself because I feel like it, and I just haven't done this in a while and it feels really, really nice. I thought about maybe going to see a movie, but I don't really have any movies that I really want to see right now. So I'm gonna finish getting myself ready. We're gonna head out on the scooter and I'll see you guys at the ramen spot. Just finished having some lunch. That place was called Shiki Menya. I feel like I probably just butchered that. I just heard about it last week and apparently it gets super busy. It wasn't busy today because everyone's probably just getting back from the long weekend. I ended up getting a spot on the patio, enjoyed some ramen. I think I got one of the most popular dishes, which was really good. The broth was really rich, so I'm pretty full right now. I think there was like a bubble tea spot that someone had recommended as well that's close by, but we're gonna keep going. Left the bookstore. It's like a few minutes from this park, which is so nice. It's right by the water. I never realized before moving to Calgary just how nice the river is. We did river rafting a couple weeks ago now, and in the summer I just feel like there's so many different things to do. So the bookstore that I went to is called Faves Fair. They do used books. There's a pretty wide range in terms of the conditions of the books, but they even have a program so you can bring back the books after you've read them, and if they're in good condition you get a certain percentage back or something like that. I didn't really see much romance or contemporary fiction. There was a lot of YA, which are the two books that I ended up getting. And these are books that I already had my eyes on, so they're not completely out of the blue. The first is The Final Gambit. This one is from the Inheritance Games trilogy, actually, and I read the first two already. I don't know I do know what happened. I basically spoiled this book for myself in terms of one of the plot points. I wasn't a fan of the spoiler, to be quite honest, but I feel like I should wrap up the series and I should figure out what happens to the characters. So I am going to read this, and I was looking at this for a while, but I don't have the first two in physical copy, so I wasn't sure if I should start buying them physically, but I've been really enjoying reading physical books in the last month or so, and this ended up being $12. The condition is really good. So this is one of the books. The next one I got is Harry Potter. I've actually never read this series before. I remember being in the theaters when the movies came out, so it'll be really nice to experience what it was like reading it as well. So those are the books that I got. I wanted to take a few minutes as well to just chat about taking time to do stuff alone and embracing that. Even as I'm sitting here, I feel like it can be a little bit awkward. You can get in your head for sure about like being outside and being seen alone at places, for example, with like restaurants and stuff like that. And if you've watched my content for a while, you may have heard me say some of this stuff already, so I'm not trying to be too repetitive. But if you're new to this channel, I just want to make sure the message is received. This guy's opening the back door. So if you're not familiar, I did move to Calgary in June, so it's been almost 3 months now. When I first got here, I knew nobody except for my boyfriend who I moved here with. I have been trying a bunch of different things to get out there and meet people, which I'm doing a different video about, so you guys might see that before or after this. But with that said, even if you have a group of friends or if you have all the people in the world to go do stuff with, I think there's something to be appreciated about just going and doing stuff alone. Obviously, having company that you like spending time with is unmatched, but also going and doing something that you just want to do for yourself is, I would argue, equally unmatched. For example, going to eat, you do not have to think about what anyone else wants to eat or if they're gonna dislike the choice that you suggest or anything. You just go and do what you want to do. You want to eat somewhere, go and eat there. You want to eat quickly, eat quickly. If you want to take your time and eat slower, you want to take a million photos of your food like I did, then that's totally fine because there's no one else that's gonna like stop you. One thing that I have tried to do in an effort to meet new people was going to a book club, which I will talk about in a different video, but when I was with that group, a few of the ladies were actually saying how much they enjoyed just going out to a restaurant and eating by themselves or going to a trip by themselves and like the beauty of solo travel and everything. It was really refreshing to hear from people that also appreciated that. On the other hand, I have talked to people about traveling alone and how much time can you spend by yourself. And I think it's really, everyone has different comfort levels about that. But if you don't try, you'll never know. I would love to know if anyone here has gone on a solo date recently, what that has been. I think for myself, in the last couple weeks when I've been trying to like meet people, I have really enjoyed that process. I do enjoy being around people. I enjoy meeting new people to a certain extent. But I also felt like at the end of some of my socializing, I was like, I'm just ready to go read a book. I'm ready to go sit with my dog somewhere and not be made to feel weird about it or made to feel like I should have to be around people all the time. So with that said, I don't really know what that ended up being. I think I was trying to talk about lessons that I've learned from spending time alone, but I don't think they're really lessons. I think it's just me giving you some words of encouragement if you are also on the same boat or if you're trying to do something and you have no one to do it with. I have traveled by myself. I've gone to eat, as you saw, by myself, gone to movies and shows as well. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but I realized at a certain point that I just didn't want to let life pass me by because I didn't have people or enough people to go do things with. And arguably, there are things that you're gonna want to have people to do things with, but there's also so many other things that can be appreciated by yourself and sometimes are even better that way. Which leads me to what I'm gonna do now. There is a little coffee shop behind me. I saw it when I was scootering to the bookstore and it's called Phil and Sebastian, I think. There's a few locations around Calgary. I've just never had the chance to go to one and I've seen the menu. I think there's like a variety of different matchas that look really good. So we're gonna go grab a little beverage. I'm also gonna read my book. I've been reading a book from the library. This is called Happiness for Beginners. I got through this much of it in one day, which is absolutely wild because I haven't flown through a book that fast in a long time. So we're gonna take this book to the coffee shop and just hang out. Last thing I'll say is I've become a lot more comfortable, I think, with vlogging in public, but to a certain extent. Like, for instance, when I was at the restaurant, I wasn't about to just start talking on camera because there were girls right behind me and they were just enjoying their meal and I was trying to enjoy my meal. I just didn't feel like I was going to be able to talk much while that was happening without feeling super self-conscious. But spaces like this are nice because I feel like it's nice and open. There's definitely still people passing by, but I'm working on it. All right, let's go to the coffee shop. One of the main reasons I love sharing solo date vlogs like this, even if I'm just sitting here and reading, is to help normalize doing things on your own. Growing up, I was often called a loner, like it was a bad thing. And even now, people still tell me that they'll feel sorry when they see someone eating by themselves or sitting alone. But in all honesty, there is something so peaceful about it, and I feel like my fellow introvert girlies know what I'm talking about. Of course, we are social beings, but today was the perfect day to recharge for me, and I'm glad that I took the time for myself. I can't wait to do it again, and I'm glad I got to take you guys along. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this a thumbs up. It really supports my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.